Hey, what's up guys, it's Kaylee, and today's Top 5 Wednesday topic is your top 5 favourite romances. We're still very much within the February month of love topics, so today's all about romance. This is supposed to be books that are purely romance, because obviously a lot of books use romance as a subgenre, but I realised that I don't actually read a lot of pure romance, where romance is like the primary genre, so I think I've managed to find 5 that are mostly romance, but not all necessarily just romance, but I do feel like romance is the primary point of the storyline in each of these, regardless of whatever else is going on, so I guess they count. First up is Pride and Prejudice. I love Pride and Prejudice. I love Elizabeth and Darcy. I even kind of like Jane and Bingley. Pride and Prejudice, despite all of the family drama and slightly political undertones and issues of class and things like that, it is basically just a feel-good romance romp. It's nice that that's set against the background of class struggle, but it's just a nice love story and we should all just appreciate it for that. Next up is actually a Pride and Prejudice retelling, so it makes sense that that would belong on this list as well, and that is Bridget Jones's Diary. These are not the best books in the world, they're not wonderfully written, they don't have much plot, but they're fun and they're silly, and in this instance as well I really love Mr. Darcy. If you haven't read these books and you enjoyed the films, you will probably enjoy the books very much. Bridget is like spot on, exactly the way she is in the films. I definitely think that you will highly enjoy this. Next up, I can't really talk about romance and not talk about 50 Shades of Grey. Again, these are not particularly good books, but I do enjoy them. They're stupid, they're badly written, they don't have much storyline, but they're really quick reads, really easy reads, you don't have to think about them. They're like reality TV in book form. Like, people judge me for reading these and they watch Honey Boo Boo and I'm just like, it's like the same thing. They are equally as stupid and not deserving of being out in the world, but as long as they're out in the world we might as well enjoy them, you know? Then I went with Royal Wedding by Meg Cabot. This is the last Princess Diaries book, although I'm still kind of holding out hope that she'll release more adult books. This is the first one that is aimed at adults. Mia has graduated high school and she's planning her wedding with Michael. This book is primarily focused on their relationship. They get engaged at the beginning of it and then it's basically just them being cute for 300-400 pages. There is some element of storyline to it, you know, there's some like political things going on, there's some business things going on, people think that Michael is just trying to get a tax break for his company, but most of all it's just Mia and Michael being really darn cute, which is really all that I ever needed from this series. And lastly, The Time Traveller's Wife by Audrey Niffenegger. I never know how to pronounce her surname. This, of course, does have elements of fantasy in it because this man somehow is magically able to travel through time, but at its core it really is just a love story, and a beautifully written one that I absolutely loved. It made me cry, it broke my heart, but it was amazing, and if you haven't read it, I highly recommend you read it. If you haven't watched the film, I highly recommend you watch the film. That also just completely broke my heart. It's a beautiful love story that just shows that love transcends time and space and everything. And in that way, it's really cheesy, but you know what? I'm doing a video about my 5 favourite romance novels, like you guys should have expected cheesy. So those are the top 5 favourite romances that I could find on my shelf. I do love reading romance. There's just something about like fluffy, silly nonsense that it makes my heart happy, guys. I like reading important books, I like reading difficult to read books, but sometimes, you know, you just want to lie in bed with a cup of tea and some biscuits and just like let yourself melt into a pile of mush. I love me a good fantasy, but fantasy doesn't always do that. And I love me a good fantasy with a lot of romance in it, but I often just find that there isn't enough romance to satisfy me, you know? Like A Court of Mist and Fury. Amazing. Incredible. I could have done with a little bit more romance though, you know? Like, I loved all the fantasy stuff, but I still wanted a little bit more romance. So sometimes I just need a good pure romance, like something that has nothing else interfering with the storyline. It's just romance, just focused on 2 characters falling in love, and that just makes my heart happy. So please, if you have any romance recommendations for me, leave them in the comments. Anything from super silly and mushy to like 50 Shades more smutty stuff, I'm here for that. I need me some recommendations. It's nice to balance long fantasy books with really quick, easy to get through romances, you know, just to keep yourself on track with reading. If you enjoyed this video, please give it a thumbs up and subscribe to my channel, and I will see you all again very soon. Bye!